Dark Side of the Catholic Church Part 4. The first Prime Minister of Canada, John Macdonald, said that in order for Indian residential schools to be successful, the Indigenous children must be removed from their parents. In 1883, he stated, when the school is on the reserve, the child lives with its parents, who are savages. He said that they should spend their childhoods in schools where they will acquire the habits and modes of thought of white men. Before long, about 150 schools, run by Catholic, Anglican, United, and Presbyterian churches, opened across Canada in partnership with the federal government. Their aim was to eliminate the children's Indigenous knowledge and identity altogether. Far too often, the children never returned home. Those who survived the ordeal often describe a terrifying atmosphere of violence and abuse at the hands of priests, nuns, and other staff members at the schools. In 1907, Indian Affairs Chief Medical Officer Peter Bryce visited 35 Indigenous schools in Canada and found that 25% of their students had died. At one of the schools, 69% had died. The schools, Bryce noted in his report, were poorly constructed and had bad ventilation. Tuberculosis spread like wildfire. Meanwhile, other officials noted issues with overcrowding, faulty heating, and inadequate nutrition. "We cried to have something good to eat before we sleep," recalled Andrew Paul, a survivor of the Tk'emlúps Roman Catholic Residential School. "A lot of the times the food we had was rancid, full of maggots, stink." But on a number of occasions, survivors witnessed death firsthand. Some victims were beaten so brutally that they died due to their injuries. And some survivors have testified to seeing babies born to young female students who had been raped by priests, deliberately killed. Despite horrific stories like these, the schools operated for more than 100 years. The last Indian residential school in Canada didn't close until 1996.